everyone. Thank you so much for joining our call today. Who is Partner Co? We're very, very excited to introduce you to Partner Co. If this is your first time, if you love Partner Co or you know about Partner Co, give us a one in the chat box. We love this company. We love our products. We love how we're changing lives all around the world. So excited to share that with more of you. Hey, if you would like to hear this call in Spanish or Chinese or French, we have interpretation. So please click on the globe down below and you'll be able to hear it in a different language. So thank you to so many of you who've joined us from around the world. As we kick off today, we have some special guests on the call. So myself, I'm Katy Holt-Larsen, the Chief Impact Officer. I also am so happy to welcome our founders, Darren Zobrist, founder and Chief Executive Officer. We get to hear from him shortly. And then, of course, John Wadsworth, founder and Chief Brand Partner Officer. Very happy to also have our Chief Marketing Officer, Mark Patterson, join. So it's going to be a great call today as we share more with you about Partner Co. But let me introduce myself first and just share a little bit about why I came to Partner Co. I've been here for a year and a half. Partner Co. is only 2 years old. I've been here for a year and a half, and I found this industry myself. I was in high tech. My husband and I were married, working, just like so many of you. And also, maybe like some of you, I found myself in a health crisis, having a challenge. And in that moment, my husband and I started to look around. We'd always taken great care of our health, but in that moment, we were open to more options. And we found this incredible industry with phenomenal products that we said yes to that made a huge, huge difference for my own health and for our family. And in that moment, we said yes to this industry and we fell in love with it and we've been in love with it ever since. And although we were always only part-timers, we were able to surround ourselves with a community of amazing people who wanted to grow and learn and make a difference with the people around them, people who wanted to travel the world. We were able to buy our first house. We were able to go on multiple trips. And so we really fell in love with this industry. About 15 years ago, I was able to come from the high-tech industry and join this industry full-time as a corporate executive. I've been with several billion-dollar companies, helping them hit that billion-dollar mark. I've also been a CEO. But a couple of years ago, I got a call from a dear friend, and he's on this call today, Mark Patterson. And I consider Mark to be one of the best chief marketing officers in the industry. Again, if you know Mark at all, if you've ever worked with him, if you know his work, let's see some hearts and some love in the chat box because he truly is one of the very, very best in the industry. And so we know this is a relationship business. And for me, doing life with people we love, people we trust, people who are on the same intention and purpose, that's what this is all about. And so Mark gave me a call and he's like, Katy, you have to meet these founders. They're like no one I have ever worked with. And what they're creating is phenomenal. And for me, the timing wasn't right in that moment, but definitely that piqued my interest. And again, I love working with purpose-minded people. And so I put that on the shelf. But then Mark, like all good people do, all great friends, he called me back and it was the right timing. I had the pleasure of meeting with John and Darren. And it was one of those moments, I don't know if you guys have had those, but as we spent the next couple of hours together and I got to hear from them, I got to hear that not only did they want to do something amazing, but they truly wanted to create a company that was built to last, a company that would be here for 50 to 100 years and would be one of the very best in the industry. I loved it. And you'll hear this from Darren, but I loved it when Darren said, I am not coming out of retirement to do something mediocre. I'm coming out to build one of the very best companies that's out there. I've done it before and I'm going to do it again. And I don't know if, Mark had a little, I mean, if Darren had something in his ear, like an earbud or something, but everything he said and everything John said, when they talked about making a difference for the community, changing people's health, being in this for the long term and creating one of the very best companies. And they told their story. They told who they, not only who they were today, but who they had been throughout their lives. I could see their footprint. I could see what they had delivered for themselves and their families and for so many around them. And in a very short period of time, I literally left that breakfast and called my husband and I'm like, Derek, get ready because we're going with Partner Co. So I made that decision. And I think what I also want to share with you today is it's been a year and a half and working alongside them for the last year and a half every single day. They are men of their word. They keep their promise. They are delivering on creating the very best products in science and making a difference for hundreds of thousands around the world. So it is my honor and pleasure every single day to be with this company. And we are attracting so many right now, so many new people, so many new brand partners, people who have never done this before and are coming in and having success, people who are changing their health and have phenomenal health transformations. And so we wanted to do this call and introduce all of you to our founders, to our chief marketing officer, and let you get to know them a little bit. So I'd love to start out by introducing you to John Wadsworth, our founder and chief brand partner officer, an amazing, amazing man with incredible experience. So John, we'd love to hear from you and hear your story.
Thank you, Katy. This is such an exciting meeting because it's dedicated to the new people out there. We love new people. Today, we want to share a story. And as you listen to our story, you'll understand the life experiences that shape how Darren and I think, the life experiences that crafted our mindset and all of the goals and ambitions that we have for the future. My story, probably a lot like many of yours, started at a younger age. I was in my early 20s. I was a student in college. I was a science major. I loved science. I loved natural products. I was working in a product development lab, deeply involved in the development of natural products. I'd always been health conscious. I was always trying to be fit. And so I loved spending time in the lab, understanding the latest science out there and how it could be used to optimize our health. I was on a very specific career track. It required me to get perfect grades because I had a very ambitious goal to get accepted into a graduate school that I had dreamed of going to. I had a moment in my life which caused me to rethink everything. It was a very pivotal but special moment. And I bet if each of you think back to your lives, I'm sure you had pivotal moments in your life too, where you rethought about your future and what your plans were. So here I was on this very traditional career track. I was about to start graduate school. I knew that it was going to take a lot of student debt. It would probably take me 20, 30 years to pay that off. And finally, when I was in my 60s or so, I could experience freedom. I could start doing the things that I loved, the things that I dreamed about, seeing the world and spending time with other successful people. I was on stage at a convention, training on the products, sharing the benefits and the science behind products. I sat down in the audience. When I sat down, people just like you stood up and began to share their stories. And these were stories of people who had no special resume, but they had ambition and they had the right mindset and they wanted freedom early in their lives. I listened to those stories and it caused me to rethink all of my own goals. It caused me to rethink my career path. And at that moment, I made a big decision to choose this profession. I had grown up in Japan. I had so much confidence around the products. I didn't know how to build a team. I didn't know how to build a network. I knew nothing about what we today call partnership marketing, but I had the right ambitions. I went to Japan almost 30 years ago. I spent time on the streets cold contacting. I spent time studying the industry. It took me about 4 months to finally get one person to listen to the message that I had prepared diligently for many months prior to that. And that was the beginning of the most beautiful career in this industry that you can imagine. In Japan, after that initial, very grueling period of trying to practice and learn, I was able to meet, because of persistence and consistency, some very talented leaders. And we established a team, and that team grew and grew and grew. In the first year, we did over $100 million of sales with one product. And that expanded into tens of thousands of people. I was still single at the time. I could work 20-hour days and not get tired. Many of you, when you're in momentum, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're just in that flow state and things are growing and there's momentum. That's what PartnerCo has right now. We're in momentum all over the world. But here I was, starting in Japan, starting to expand out into other countries. I went to Korea and Taiwan and started country hopping. And then I got married, and I convinced Amy to come with me on what I called the best honeymoon, but secretly I just wanted to go open countries. And so we lived out of one suitcase, and we ended up going to over 13 countries the first year, culminating in building the business in over 30 countries with over $30 billion of team sales. Along the way, we made a stop in Australia, and something huge happened. We had our first baby. This totally changed my life. Here I was in Australia, building organizations all over the world, truly living the dream life of a partnership marketer. I got to spend my days focused on health. I got to spend my days focused on mindset, trying to improve myself and others, meeting new people. Every time I met a new person, I felt that curious joy of being able to enter into someone else's life and benefit from their experiences. This journey took me all over the world with the most incredible experiences and memories. Today, I have 4 children. We live in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, I became best friends with this incredible man named Darren Zobrist. Darren Zobrist has a pedigree, a business pedigree that's the top of what you can expect from the world. He graduated from the top business school in the US, Wharton. He then worked on Wall Street with Goldman Sachs, the #1 investment bank. This type of incredible business experience shaped his ability to see things, to guide a business, to build long-term initiatives that last. What's really cool about Darren's experience, what you'll hear from him, is he had a moment in his life where he had every business pedigree that you could want, but he really wanted to do something meaningful. And he did just that. I tease him all the time because he says, John, I have no experience with partnership marketing. I say, Darren, yes, you do. Darren, have you rethought that statement now that you've seen what we're all about?
So I had 2 aha moments, which I'll talk about. But yes, I really spent a good chunk of my life doing partnership marketing. I didn't even know it. And that really started when I was working on Wall Street and on a fishing trip in Mexico, in this little fishing village. And I met these fishermen who were catching the most beautiful yellowfin tuna, which is the tuna we use for sushi in the United States. And they were selling it very cheap in their local market because they had no idea of the global market for this fish. And even if they did know, they had no way to access it. So as a side project while I was still working at Goldman, I began helping those fishermen access the market in the United States. We started with one fisherman, and this fisherman, just like in Mexico, in other developing countries around the world, the fishermen have very modest lives, very humble circumstances. This gentleman, he lived in a small 1-room kind of cement house with a metal roof, very humble. And he started working with us. And after 1 month, he was able to go buy a car and start looking at a new apartment. And his life had changed dramatically because we were able to pay about 5 times what he'd been selling his fish for in the local market. Others of his friends saw what was happening, and he introduced them to us, and then their friends and their friends and their friends. And within about 3 months, we had 1,000 fishermen in the region all fishing for us. Every one of them experienced this dramatic change in their life and in their circumstances. I was still at Goldman, and I remember coming down on the weekend, and we had a barbecue with the fishermen, and this one gentleman came up, and he was holding a child, and his wife was with him. He was introducing me to his family, and his wife just began weeping, talking about how her life had changed and how grateful she was for the work that we were doing. And when they walked away, I remember thinking that I want to do this every day for the rest of my life. And that was that first aha breakthrough moment for me. I left Goldman Sachs to focus full-time on the seafood company We expanded to developing countries all over the world, 13 different countries. We worked with tens of thousands of fishermen, every one of whom experienced a dramatic change in their life because of our work. And up till that point, it was the most meaningful thing that I'd done. I was until John introduced me to the opportunity that we had to acquire this company. And initially, I was just going to help fund it, help provide the finances to buy this company. And John said, Darren, if you're going to buy this company, you gotta experience what it's all about. And he took me to an event in Barcelona, Spain. And as I sat on that back row and the first speaker got up, who talked about how her health had improved dramatically because she began taking our products. And then a few months later, she was introduced to the business opportunity and she began seeing success in her business, selling our products. And she quickly began making more money than she was making in her traditional job. And she had time freedom, more time with her family. And she felt part of a community. And she just talked about how dramatically her life had changed. And I perk up and I start to think, I know this story. I know what this is about. This is like the fisherman. This company is transforming lives. And each speaker that got up, I got more and more excited about the work that we do. At the end of the weekend, I leaned over to John and I said, John, I don't want to just be a passive investor in this. I want to help drive our mission of transforming lives all over the world. I saw the opportunity not just to help tens of thousands of fishermen, I saw the opportunity to change the lives of millions of people all around the world. And John said, deal, let's do this. Let's do this together. And that's really when Partner Co. was born. The first thing that we began doing after we launched Partner Co. was figuring out how we were going to communicate our mission, our vision to the world. And we were able to execute so well on that because our first major hire was we hired Mark Patterson, our chief marketing officer, a marketing genius who had really built several billion-dollar brands. So let's turn the time over to Mark to hear about our marketing.
Thank you, Darren. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy that you're here with us today, and I'm honored to be able to be part of this call. As Darren said, my name's Mark Patterson. I've been in the industry for a while, and I've worked in various companies and helped grow some of them to over $1 billion. Doing that it's an incredible experience. If any of you have been involved in that, it's so much fun. And when Darren and John reached out to me and said, hey, you should be a part of what we're going to do over here, I said, okay, but we cannot go small. We have to go big. I only know one way to do things, and that's with excellence. And I can tell you that I was very excited when Darren said, marketing is so, so, so important to me. And I said, hey, it's so, so important to me as well. So I think we're going to do this. Now, when I heard the name Partner Co. and I saw Darren and John's partnership, I said, you know what? I think we should rename what network marketing is. We should call it partnership marketing, as you see there on the screen, the future of partnership marketing. Now, if you don't know this, we said, hey, we love that phrase so much, we're going to trademark it, which we have done. So we actually own that term. So I've already seen other people try to use it, but it really is a partnership. And guess who that's with? It's with you. You are a partner with me in doing this job, and I'm excited to help you. Now, they also let me bring over an incredible team of people, and so we're building a brand that's quite special. We want it to be modern, we want it to be informative, we want it to be beautiful, we want it to attract. And I'm going to share a video with you right now that helps you get a glimpse into what we're building just 2 years in. Let's take a look. When I watch that video, I feel so proud of the team and what we're starting to create here. And you can be part of it. It's actually very, very, very exciting. Now, let's go to my next slide. I'm going to just introduce you to my strategy. The overall strategy that we have, besides creating everything with the highest level of design and quality, is we do it because I want to attract. I have an attraction strategy that we always stick to. I believe strongly that with the best brand and the best brand partners and the best culture and the best science and the best products, that people will come to us. We don't have to chase. We don't have to run after people. And this makes doing the business for you much, much easier. So I have a pull strategy, not a push strategy. All right, let's go to the next slide. If you haven't visited our website, I invite you to take a look. We recently launched this website and we are quite proud of what is there. We are careful on the website to make the way you navigate it very simple. Make it easy for you to shop and find the best products that will help you in your health transformation. But additionally, you can find information about the company, about how we started, about Darren and John. You can find all kinds of information about our science, our chief science officer, our wellness council, and on and on and on. So I invite you to go and check out our website. Next slide. Now, as a partner, I believe we need to give you all the tools. And this is where we share, for those of you who are business builders who want to grow your business, we want to share everything we create. So literally every asset that we create, including this PowerPoint, is available on share.partner.co. So please remember this website because it's a great place to get assets to help you grow your business. All right, next slide. We have also built a site to help you expose what you're doing. So there will come a time when people ask you, how are you doing this? And you'll tell them, I'm partnering with a company that's pretty special, and they're called Partner Co. And when you want to explain it, going to this landing page, Discover Partner Co, is a great way to do it. We put all of the best materials that help you tell the story and help share why you chose to be with Partner Co. All right, next slide. Please follow us. We invite you to follow us on social media. We know that as people learn about Partner Co, they're going to go and check us out on social media, and we're very careful to show just the best parts of who we are. And that's our strategy there. Again, it's an attraction strategy. Also, Darren and John have their own channel. So if you're not following them, that's a lot of fun to watch them and their travels, and you will see, as I see, their dedication to the business, the amount of time they put in, and their willingness to go out and share their story in all around the world. It's really amazing. All right, next slide. We also have a magazine and other tools that make it really easy to discuss and show people what we're all about. Why a magazine? Because it's a soft approach. Again, helping someone read and be attracted is what we're trying to do here. All right, next slide. Now, if you haven't heard about the drops, and I bet you have, it's really something special. And we're seeing amazing results. And it's, quite frankly, it's kind of viral. And to show you some of the amazing before and afters and some of the effects that these drops are having on people's lives. I just thought I'd share only this one. We have quite a few products, but this one's pretty special. Let's take a look at this video so you can see what's happening all around the world. I love seeing many of your faces in that video, and there's so many more than what you just saw there. I also want to let you know that with every product we have, we create tools, videos, marketing assets that help you talk about how this product can change someone's life. Like, I don't want you to have to be a scientist. I want you to just to talk about the results. And when people want to know the ingredients or the science behind a product, we provide you with all those tools. Next slide. Last but not least, I want to touch on something that's probably the most important, maybe the most important thing, culture. Culture and community is really when you create that, there's something special. And it's not something that happens by just saying you want it. It happens when you have quality, awesome people that get to know each other, that get to like each other, that work together hand in hand as a partnership, being led by incredible leaders. And as I travel around and meet many people just like yourselves, I'm touched by your testimonials and by the community that you are, because I see something special happening here. And I hope you'll all join us and be a part of it. I'm excited for the future. I'm planning on being here just as long as this company is here. And I'll now pass it back to you, Katy.
Mark, thank you so much. I love all of your content and your videos, and you truly have created and are creating a billion-dollar brand. So thank you so much. Okay, as we wrap up this call today, I'm gonna go back to the founders in just a minute. I really want to ask them not only what is it we are creating, but what is it 2 years in that they see that is making us unique, that's making us stand out, that is making people come to us and stay with us. And I will just kick that off. Mark just talked about our amazing community and culture, but our number one value is true partnership. We are called Partner Co. And again, I will never forget that breakfast when John and Darren told me that their first 90 days as founders, they spent in the trenches, traveling around the world with our partners, with our field. I know what that takes. Frankly, I've never seen founders that have done that. And not only did they sit across from our partners in the United States, Canada, Europe, Japan, China, Asia, all across Asia Pac, Mexico, but they listened. You'll find this is an amazing, amazing skill of John and Darren's, was they truly listen, because we believe that we are better together. We believe that when we have a true partnership, magic happens. And this is what we have seen. We're seeing the crazy momentum. In the US and North America, we grew triple digits last year, both US and Canada. They're both on fire right now in a time when we're unfortunately seeing so many other companies that are not having this success we are. We also grew around the world. Europe is also on fire, growing double digits, and the entire company has grown double digits last year. So having some phenomenal momentum is amazing. And the last thing, I know John and Darren will touch on this, but we have the most amazing system for our partners. You can jump in, you can get started. We call it our system of growth, but we see that our partners jump in, even if they've never done this, even if they're 20, if they're 50, if they're 80, we have people of all ages join us. They join the system, they launch their business. We see people change their health in their first week to 2 weeks. we see them make a check of $500 to $1,000 in those first 2 weeks in the business. And this is what gets us all excited. We're driven to win at Partner Co. That's the other thing. We're actually incredibly competitive. But what is fun is what we actually do it together. We call it blurring the lines of sponsorship. And the teams work together. We work together to win for all of us. And that makes what we do every single day a passion and not work. And so that's some of why I love it. But John and Darren, I'd love to hear what you think is so unique about Partner Co. as we wrap this up.
You mentioned the magic. There's so much magic right now. If you look across the industry, Partner Co is the most attractive company on the planet. And why? All of that growth that you mentioned, it's organic growth. This is organic growth with new people, many of whom have no prior network marketing experience, but they join Partner Co and they immediately taste success. And that gives them the ambition to learn how to be a leader, to develop themselves, to focus on their own health, and to attract other people. Where's this organic growth coming from? There's several very unique characteristics of Partner Co that are causing this attraction to happen. The first being, this story is so unique. If you're looking for a company today and you want an opportunity that has a very long runway where you feel like you're almost one of the first to know about it and most people don't know about it, that's Partner Co. How unique is that? You don't want the risk of a startup. You do want a global footprint. That's Partner Co. You want time-tested products that have been backed by science. That's Partner Co. You know, Partner Co has everything, and it's all wrapped up in this unique story that's so new that most people have never heard about. The timing is what's creating the urgency that's causing everyone to come to Partner Co and partner with us. We love our products. Our products are a combination of science and nature. These products, they're beautiful. We have a very strong list of criteria that we make sure that every product that we launch adheres to. Number one being, we are all in on social. We have social sellers, social marketers. They need products that will stop the scroll, products that will pique interest quickly, that are beautiful, that are addressing needs that people have today. These types of solutions where people in modern society, they need exactly what we're offering. And that's what we're laser focused on. Beautiful products that address exactly what people need today and that can be delivered through packaging and social assets and the ability to show before and afters and demonstrate results. I mean, look at these products. You can just tell from the branding to the name to the simplicity. Even new products coming. Here's a sneak peek. Don't take a screenshot, but we're launching a new collagen product. We launch it first in Europe and then all around the world. This product addresses all of the needs that people have to help with their skin and their joints and the elasticity of their beauty features. This addresses beauty from the inside and out and general health. We also have some legacy products that have been around for decades that people drink every single day. Once they start, they cannot stop. This allows our retention and our customer to stick around forever because they develop a daily habit with our science-backed products that allows them to get hooked through daily habits to improve their health.
When I think about what sets Partner Co apart, I really think it goes right back to the beginning. The partnership of John and I. You have John, 25 years as a distributor, every year building on his success of the prior year, never having to go to another company and start over again. You combine that, and not only did he have this success over time, he knows exactly what every one of our distributors and brand partners faces, what tools they need, what support they need from us to be successful. Then you have me with the business background, building long-term companies, knowing how to have financial stability, knowing how to make sure we have the resources to invest in the best products, the best marketing, the best executive team. That is a very unique partnership. The very first thing that we did was establish core values of who we are is a company, who PartnerCo is within our corporate employees as well as outside with all of our brand partners. This is a foundation that really we build on when we're building a long-term company. We've talked about true partnership a lot. That was our very first core value. John and I, and every one of us on the corporate side, partnering with every single one of you to support you in your businesses. The other one, which is always our most important that we focus on right from the very beginning, a company that is built to last. We're building a company that's going to be here for many generations, 50 years, 100 years. When you have that kind of a view, you make different decisions. You make long-term decisions. You make decisions that will benefit everybody for the long term. We want every one of you to be able to build a business that's so valuable and so successful that you can pass that on to your children and your children's children. And really, at the end of all of our lives, we want to look back at what we've done and be so proud that we were part of PartnerCo.
Darren, we're focused on the biggest mega trend in the world, and that's health and wellness. It's expanding, it's growing. If I was starting a business today, that's exactly where I would put all of my efforts, is into a mega trend where you know that it will continue to grow and do good all around the world. And that's embodied in our mission statement. Our mission statement is simple but powerful. We want it to be memorable, that people can repeat it all over the world. At PartnerCo, our mission is to power health and prosperity around the world. Imagine partnering with a global community in over 50 countries where you could build globally starting today, but it's a brand new story. That's exactly what we have at PartnerCo. The multiple layers of meaning in the mission statement, Darren and I love talking about, right?
Health. John is always talking about how if you don't have health, you don't have anything. It's the very best investment that you can make is in your health. And prosperity. What does that mean, to prosper? What we love about that is every one of you prospering means something different. It may mean being part of a community. It may mean financial success. It may even mean improving your health and other relationships. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, we are here to help you achieve those goals.
Thank you so much for joining this call. We're so excited to meet you. We can't wait to meet you in person. We invite all of you to join us in this mission. Darren and I are so proud to partner with you and look forward to a life of adventure, seeing the world, taking care of our health, and inviting everyone around the world to join us in this special cause. Thanks so much for today.
Remember our mission, to power health and prosperity around the world. We look forward to achieving this mission with every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
See
you.
Thank you.
At PartnerCo, we live life better together.